In this tutorial, we're going to have a look at how you can share your screen with your members during a Zoom meeting. This is particularly useful if you or your speaker wants to share a PowerPoint for a presentation. But really you can share anything that you have open on your computer. As well as sharing a presentation, you can share videos, documents, images, or any other program or app that you may have open, for example, Word or Excel. This works like a window onto your computer, which enables your members to see what you're sharing with them as if they're looking right at it. There are further examples of using screen sharing in the document that accompanies this video. Do have a look at this, it might give you some ideas for your meeting. For WI meetings, we don't require our members to know how to share their screens on Zoom. This might be quite fiddly for them, especially if they're using mobile devices. Also, we don't want our meetings to be disrupted because someone decided to share their screen. So we need to ensure that only hosts and co-hosts have permission to share their screens. To check that screen sharing is turned on and to set those important permissions, we need to go to the settings page on the Zoom website. So let's do that first. To check your settings, you need to sign into your account on the Zoom website. When you log in, you'll probably be taken straight to your meetings page. You then just need to look over to the navigation on the left-hand side of the screen and you'll find the settings link. If you click on this, you'll be taken to the right page. So as you can see, I'm now on the settings page, and I know that because that's the section of the navigation that's highlighted. Any changes you make on this page will apply to all your meetings. If you make any changes, you'll only have to do this once and not for every single meeting. Bear in mind that you can change these settings in the meeting itself if you want them to apply only to that meeting. This is quite a long page, and I just need to find the screen sharing section. You can find that by scrolling down the page, but it's much quicker if you use the Find shortcut. To use this shortcut on a PC, you just need to click the Control key on your keyboard, keep it held down and press the F key at the same time. On an Apple computer, you would press and hold down the Command key and press F at the same time. You'll see that a search box appears. Mine is right here at the top of the screen. Now all I need to do is to type screen sharing into this search box. You'll notice that I've been taken exactly to the right place, and the screen sharing section is now highlighted. I can now close the search box and that highlight will disappear. There are a couple of settings I want to check here. First of all, I need to make sure that screen sharing is turned on. So if I look at the title of this section, over to the right, there's a little button slider. Now blue tells me that screen sharing is turned on. To turn these settings on and off, you just need to click on the button. So if I click once, that would turn it off. And if I click it again, it'll turn it on. So I just need to check that screen sharing is on. Now I need to choose who can share their screens during a meeting. I can either choose host only or all participants. We would advise you to set this to host only. This will mean that only hosts and co-hosts can share their screen. The reason we recommend only allowing hosts and co-hosts to share screens is that we don't expect our members to know how to do this to attend WI meetings. Many of our members join from mobile devices and would find it tricky to share their screens that way. If your speaker needs to share their screen, you could make them a co-host for the time that they are presenting. You'll notice that the next setting is disabled. And that's because I've chosen host only. This setting would only apply if I'd chosen all participants. This setting just allows me to determine who can share their screen while somebody else is sharing. But if you've picked host only, you won't need this setting. This final section refers to sharing your whole computer screen rather than specific items which are open on your computer. I'll just explain that a bit further. Zoom does allow you to share your whole computer screen with everyone. If you disable this, that is, if you turn it on, using this slider over here, then nobody will be able to share their whole screen. However, you would still be able to share specific items that are open on your computer. You just won't have the option to share your whole computer screen. As you've chosen the option that only allows hosts and co-hosts to share their screens, you don't really need to disable this. So I can just turn this off and it's grey, and that tells me that this setting is off. Before you go into your meeting, think about what it is you want to share and open them on your computer. This just ensures that they're all ready to share when you need them. I've done this already, so I'm just going to head over to my meeting. I'm now in my meeting and I've turned my video off so that you can focus on the controls that I'm about to show you. If I want to share my screen, I just need to use the controls in the menu bar. If you don't see that immediately, just hover over the bottom of the screen and the controls will come up. You can see the share screen option just here. So let's click on this button. When you click on the share screen button, you'll be taken to a menu, and this lists all the things that you can share with your members. So let's just go through some of these items. We'll be focusing on the basic options, and you can see that this is the tab that's highlighted. So on the top line, I've got options to share my whole computer screen. Now I've got two options for this because I've got a monitor attached to my laptop. If you're just using a laptop or a computer, you'll just see a screen one option. If I choose a screen option, that means I'll be sharing my entire computer screen. If you do decide to do this, then please make sure that you don't have anything private in view. It's actually better to choose specific items than it is to choose your whole screen. Zoom also offers a whiteboard option, and this is just an empty space which you can use to write or draw things for your meeting. There's also a way of linking your iPhone or iPad screen to your computer so you can share that with other people. In this tutorial, we're only going to be covering basic screen sharing options, so we won't be looking at whiteboards or linking iPhones or iPads. You can also see that there are a range of different items that I can share beneath that first line. Zoom detects everything that you have open on your computer, and they're all listed here. There are going to be some items in your list that you're not planning to share. They're just programs or apps that are open on your computer. So all you need to do is to find the item that you do want to share. For this demonstration, I'm just going to be sharing a browser which is open at a YouTube video. So I'm just going to click on that now. Before I share this, I just want to point out two further options, and you'll find these at the bottom of the screen here. The first option is to share computer sound. This is particularly useful if you're planning to share anything that includes sound. The other option is to optimize screen sharing for video clips. If you check this optimize option, Zoom will automatically also check the share computer sound option. It just assumes that if you're playing a video clip, then you'll need the sound as well. If you don't want the sound on, you can just uncheck that and it'll just play the video without any sound. I'm just going to uncheck this now. You would only use this optimize option if you're sharing a video clip through a media player. You wouldn't need this option if you're playing a video clip from the web. As I'm sharing a clip from the web, I don't need to optimize screen sharing, but I would like to share computer sound. That means that the sound from the web video will be played directly through my members' computer systems. Now all I need to do is to click share. You'll see that there's a green bar that has appeared just here, and this tells me that I'm screen sharing. If I hover over the top of this, you'll see that I still have access to all the controls in my menu bar. If I hover over more, I'll be able to see all the other controls that I have access to during a meeting. And you'll see that there's also a stop share button which I can use when I want to stop sharing and return to my meeting. So you'll remember that I just wanted to share my browser. Whichever item you're sharing will be surrounded by a green border, and you can see that just here. Your members will only be able to see whatever happens within that box. So if I wanted to change tabs on my browser, I can do that, and this is what my members will see. And if I want to play the video, I can do that too, just by clicking play. Your members won't be able to see anything outside of this green box. When you are sharing something, your members will still see the Zoom meeting room, but they'll see whatever you're sharing in the main area of the room. So this will appear large on their screens. All the video boxes that they would normally see would reduce in size to make room for the item that you're sharing. When you're ready to stop sharing, you just need to go over to this menu here and click on Stop Share. Once you've done that, you'll be returned to your Zoom meeting window. If you remember, at the beginning of this tutorial, I advised you to set screen sharing to host only. We did this on the settings page of the Zoom website. However, there may be times when you do want some of your members to share their screens. The good news is that you don't have to go back to the Zoom website to do this. You can change your settings in the meeting itself. Those changes will only apply to the meeting you're in. I can do this from the menu bar at the bottom of the screen. The first thing I need to do is to click on the security button. In the second part here, you'll see that I have an option to allow participants to share their screens. So I'll just click on that now. If I open this up again, you'll see that share screen is ticked. The next thing I need to do is to find my screen share button, which is just here. You'll notice that there's a small up arrow just to the right hand side of the button, so you just need to click on this. Although you have a couple of quick options at the top of the box, you'll see things more clearly if you go to the advanced options. So in this first section, I can decide to allow only one person to share at a time, or to allow multiple people to share simultaneously. To keep things simple, I would recommend only allowing one person to share at a time. In this next section, I need to change the setting from only host to all participants. In the final section, you'll need to ensure that only the host can start sharing when somebody else is sharing. Again, this will just prevent any unnecessary complications. And that's all you need to do. Once you're happy with these settings, you can go ahead and close the box. Now your members will be able to share their screens. Now that you know how to share your screen, you might want to practice before your meeting. You can access your meeting at any time prior to the scheduled date and time just to get used to sharing your screen. Or you could set up a separate meeting to try things out.